Hello and welcome fans and friends, my name is 8-Bit Ben, and today I want to give you a list of the best 6 games on Nintendo 3DS right now. In my opinion, I have a huge collection of 3DS and DS games, but today I want to give you a list of the best 3DS games that you'll be playing for months and years to come. These are all equally highly recommended, so we're going to talk about Mario Kart 7. This game is incredible, loads of new tracks and old tracks, and I think this is technically the best Mario Kart. Yes, you heard me right, the best Mario Kart. Not even Mario Kart 8 can kind of match the greatness of this one. I feel like the track variation and everything was great in this particular title. Next up was my first Nintendo 3DS game from 2011. This is Nintendogs and Cats, the Golden Retriever edition. Now, there is a couple of versions of this game. Just choose any, you won't really go wrong. I chose this version. I highly recommend this game because, well, for one, I was a huge fan of animals back when it came out, and I loved Nintendogs on the DS. And this game is, in my opinion, the most graphically impressive Nintendo 3DS game to date. And that's incredible to say because it was a launch title. And you can do so much stuff with your dog. You can take it out on walks. You can, bring it to tournaments and competitions. You can buy stuff for the dog. You customize it, name it, teach it tricks, everything. And it really is probably the best pet simulator ever made. Super Smash Bros. Is an insanely great game, and this version of the game has its own stages as well as a couple of shared stages between this and the Wii U version. Super Smash Bros. Is a fighting game. If you haven't heard of it, it's like a crossover of all the greatest Nintendo characters, and it's just so fun with multiplayer. You can play it online, you can play it offline. There's like a mode where you can run around, grab items to get stronger, and then you sort of fend off against your opponent. It's a really, really class game, and I still play it. I got this years ago, I still play it now, every now and again. It's really fun, and it's not a really gimped version of Super Smash Bros. It's actually probably one of the best versions of Smash Bros. To date. The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds is technically it's like a spiritual remake of A Link to the Past, and this is probably my favourite Zelda game to date. I had so many fun hours playing this game. It's sort of like a top-down adventure / puzzle game, and it's just incredible. Graphically, it looks pretty good, and it just plays extremely well. I just really can't recommend this one enough. If you love adventure, exploration type games, you'll really, really enjoy this game. There's loads of collectibles and stuff you can find in this game, and if you beat it the first time, you get a master mode, which is a harder mode. So there's so much variety and time you can get out of this title, and it's again I have this sort of Nintendo Selects version, which is cheaper. I think it was £18 or something like that when it first came out in this variation. So I highly recommend this Zelda title. If you haven't played any Zelda games before, this is a good way to start. And here we have my most favorite 3DS game, if not one of my most favorite games of all time, Animal Crossing New Leaf. This is the latest Animal Crossing game in the series. Well, actually, it's technically the latest mainline game in the series, and it's a life simulator. You talk to animals, but they're anthropomorphic, which means they stand on legs and they talk and whatever. You can fish, you can find fossils, you can, it's kind of like Harvest Moon in a sense. If you haven't heard of Animal Crossing, it's a bit like Harvest Moon, but it's more casual than Harvest Moon. I'm actually dying for a sequel for this game on the Switch right now, so hopefully that will actually happen at some point. And this game came out a couple of years ago, but it's still really fun. There was a new update called the Welcome Amiibo Edition, so that adds even more content upon this game that will last you hundreds of hours. And last but not least, here we have Super Mario 3D Land, one of the probably the latest best 3D Mario platformer game. This has so many levels, and they're all extremely well designed. It even has 8 bonus worlds, and I had so much fun collecting all the gold coins and stuff in this game, the big ones. And I still think this one's actually better than Super Mario 3D World that was on the Wii U, because it felt like it took a more unique direction, and this is where kind of the Mario games went downhill. But of course, Super Mario Odyssey looks like a return to form, but this game is really good. You shouldn't skip it at all, and I'm pretty sure it's more affordable than ever, so yeah. I do have a couple more recommendations, but you might not get as much replayability out of them. For games like, say, Luigi's Mansion 2, that was a great game. And you have Pokemon Y, which I actually recommend more than Pokemon Sun and Moon. There's just something about this game that was just better. Like the story was better, the gameplay was better. And it's kind of weird to say that because it's an older Pokemon game, but I highly recommend either Pokemon X or Y. I went for Pokemon Y because I like the Pokemon Yveltal, I think it was called. That's the Pokemon on this cover. This game was really good. It lasted me a long week. Like it was like a week or so. I can't remember how long I played this game for. Really fun to play with your friends and multiplayer and stuff like that. So yeah, I've had the 3DS since 2011. I haven't been using the same 3DS model, but I have to say that all these games hold up extremely well and will always be fun no matter what year you play them in. So if you have a new 2DS XL, don't hesitate to get any of these games. Buy them all. They're great. And there's a couple of like spin-off games from these series and such that are on the 3DS. So if you actually like these, there's more games like those. But I think these are probably the best cream of the crop that the 3DS has right now, and that probably ever will have. The last big game we have on the 3DS from Nintendo would be Hey Pikmin, to my knowledge. And I'm not really that fussed on it, but I probably will get it at some point, seeing as I have like the other 3 Pikmin games. But I won't ramble on for much longer. If you guys enjoyed this video and you haven't come across this channel before, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, but only do that if you want to.